For me, it's a rush. I love driving.
I love driving. It's great to have that, freedom and.
I couldn't wait until I turned 16 to be able to drive.
20 days, counting down.
Being responsible on the road is extremely important. You're in charge.
And realize that you have to be safe when you're driving. You can't just go out there and just do what you want.
Do the right thing that I know is right.
Pay attention to the road, pay attention to what you're doing.
Don't go speeding through life.
You think you're invincible, of course.
Like they think they're invincible.
Lots of teenagers today think that they're immortal and they're going to live forever.
Because they always think there's going to be a second chance.
Just looking at the past year and a half in St. Tammany Parish, that's really not the case.
People like to show off for their friends, or
we think we can do anything and get away with it.
Not concentrating on the road, more or less concentrating on other things.
they talk on their phone, they have the music playing really loud.
And then people are talking to you and you're talking back to them. And
changing the CDs, busy with their cell phone or the radio.
And that really juicy cheeseburger, or they had too many people in the car.
Alcohol and drugs.
Speeding.
Wearing seatbelts is a really big issue.
And don't put their seatbelt on. When you get in a serious accident or something like that in real life,
there's no reset button. You can't start over again.
Once it happens in real life, it happens, and you're gonna have to live with that for the rest of your life. Life is not a video game.
Cover a traffic accident and you see a young person whose life is over, just like that.
Tragedies do happen. We see it all the time.
What do we see is the principal causation factor of those crashes? Speed, speed, and more speed.
Whenever you get a traumatic brain injury, you can always tell there was no seatbelt used.
I've unbuckled one corpse in 30 years.
It's not the speed that will get you, it's the sudden stop.
And there are lots of different impacts. When it strikes that tree, you have a collision. You strike the steering wheel or the windshield at 70 miles an hour. Your lungs and heart slam into your rib cage going 70 miles an hour.
It's a 12.26% chance that you're going to be the one that dies. Spinal cord injury is not repairable. You cannot fix it. I can guarantee you probably will not walk out of it.
Baptism by fire is not the way to go in this one.
You don't have to learn everything the hard way.
The pain that it causes loved ones, and then the sad loss of potential.
It becomes an extraordinary ripple effect.
Their potential to be whatever they were going to be has been completely taken away.
And that grief doesn't go away in a day, a week, or a month. It stays a lifetime.
Before you get in that car, stop and think about what could happen.
I don't think kids know how fragile life is.
You think you know everything, but you really don't.
Make the right decisions. Your life and everyone else's life is at risk.
And you have to use good judgment about seatbelt safety. It's so important to be careful on the road.
You have to keep your mind on the road and watch what you're doing. Not just to focus on yourself, but other people around you.
you really need to be focused on what you're doing whenever you're driving.
Focus on the road.
Just stay focused when driving.
So that you don't get distracted.
Stay focused and pay attention to everything that's around you.
Anticipate the other driver. You have to anticipate what the people around you are going to do.
You have to anticipate what other drivers might be doing around you in order to prevent maybe an accident from happening.
It's your job to obey the laws and stay on the road at all times.
It's those little tiny decisions that can make a huge difference.
I think disciplining yourself to wear a seatbelt and to drive under the speed limit is probably just one of the best things you can do for yourself.
What is popular is not always right, and what is right is not always popular.
You say, look, this could hurt you, hurt somebody else.
For not getting in the car with someone who's been drinking and wants to drive.
Have courage, stick up to them and say, I'm not going to get in the car with you.
It's your character that really builds upon who you become. We
need to help our kids.
We are role models, every single one of us.
And driving is a real big responsibility because there's so many people who aren't paying attention.
And one of the best ways to get your kids or your children to follow and understand how important it is to drive safely is to drive safely yourself.
If we as adults are not utilizing the seat belts and are not following the law,
how can we expect our children to do so?
I think it's the responsibility of us as parents to create the boundaries again.
Ask questions, be involved, know where they're going, know who they're with, know what they're wearing, know what they're doing.
And so you tell your son and you tell your daughter, buckle your seatbelt, obey the rules, just be smart, use good common sense, drive defensively.
And have rules that you follow, and you'll get through life without a personal tragedy to someone else or yourself.
Don't drink and drive.
Choose a designated driver. Be the designated driver.
Make sure you're wearing your seatbelt. Obviously, make everybody wear their seatbelt.
Don't put too many people in your car if there's not enough seatbelts for each individual.
Pay attention when you're driving.
You should keep your mind on the road. You're in charge when you're driving.
You have to be aware of all the people around you.
Be careful,
because it's not only your life that's in your hands, it's the life of everyone around you.
Obey the speed limits, because speed does kill.
And don't think that you're invincible, because in just 1 second, your whole entire life can change.
Watch other people. Anything can happen.
It's not really all about the test you took, it's about the knowledge you have.
Remember, one wrong turn can change your life.
Always concentrate on what's in front of you and what's behind you.
Because you're not the only person out there. There's also other people driving with you, and you got to watch out for them.
Safe driving is really important because you've got too much going for you.
Safe driving is important. You have too much going for you.
Safe driving is important.
Because I've got too much to lose.
You're not only taking care of yourself for your life, you're taking care of yourself for other people.
What I don't want is my parents to have the pain.
It's like you go home and everyone's like, drive safe, because we have a connection with you, and if you don't drive safe and you mess yourself up, we're all messed up.
It's really our responsibility as teenagers to recognize that our parents really do love us, and that we have to remember them in remaining safe on the road so that we don't make a fatal mistake that would really break their heart.
Don't let that empty desk in my classroom be yours.
Cherish your life. You've got to cherish your life. Cherish your life. Cherish your life. Cherish your life. Cherish. Cherish your life. Cherish.